Hello, and welcome back to Lyre. We're still enjoying the party. It is nice. We're having a great time, or at least I hope we are. You know, yeah. Oh, sorry if that picked up on the mic. Moving my headphones. I recognize them as Raynor's horns, considering the other deer in the castle are a bit shorter than him. His antlers are also much taller. On my way over, he spots me.
Richter.
Rainer says this in a surprisingly jovial tone. Hello. He is certainly decorated. His outfit is simple and beautiful. A dark black suit with a shoulder cape. The cape is adorned with a golden peacock feather pattern with a green gemstone in the center. The suit also has the Aussian crest placed on the left breast. The outfit does a good job at showing off his body too. With the big coat on all the time, you don't get to see much, but he is quite muscular. I would have even ventured to say he rivals Lyre in that department. He's truly the biggest stag I have ever seen. The most important part of his choice in fashion is the golden flex he has decorated one of his horns with. Okay. Everything matches, and it's all designed beautifully. I'd expect nothing less from a king.
Your suit is very nice, Richter. Is it from Aaron?
Yes, it was very hard to find something like this. The weather is much more harsh than I predicted. He takes a drink from his glass. I can't imagine how hard it would be to find something warmer.
I'd imagine it would be very difficult.
A server walks by and Rainer places his empty glass on the tray. He also grabs a new one. Before the moment is lost, I prepare to apologize for what happened. Rainer, I wanted to apologize for what happened the other day. It was not my intention to cause so much chaos. I was just so frightened, and I should have taken more control of my emotion. He holds up a hand and to stop me from going any further.
It's perfectly fine, Richter.
He moves closer to the edge of the room as he continues to speak. His hooves clop on the ground in a satisfying way.
You don't have to apologize for anything. Leif explained to me what you told him.
He did?
Yes. You don't need to worry about it. I was hurt and confused at first, but I know you wouldn't act so unhinged without a reason. We should talk about it later, in private.
Oh, okay. He glances around the room while we talk, and I notice him set his eyes on something.
Here comes Elizabeth.
Maybe you can
get a second chance at a first impression.
He says this, jabbing me in the shoulder with an elbow. That would make it a second impression. Wow. She looks completely different from how I remember her. She's looking at me with a perplexed look that slowly fades into a look of discomfort. Perfect. Her hair is no longer loose and tied back, but instead brought up into an intricate braided crown with gems weaved throughout the braid. The dress that she wears is a light cyan cloth with crystal-like leaves delicately sewn onto its base. Okay. The sleeves come past down her hands and drape by her side. It's a very pretty dress, but I'd appreciate it if she would stop staring at me with such dead eyes. You certainly look better. She says this with a drawl tone. Yes, thank you. I apologize for the other day. She wastes no time answering. Apology accepted. I don't really understand what was going on, but Rainer speaks very highly of you. I trust his judgment. She turns to him slowly with a cocked eyebrow. I just hope he trusts his own judgment. Rainer rolls his eyes amusingly at this comment, not taking it too seriously.
Liz, he has been nothing but helpful. And a good friend.
Liz? She tilts her head and at him with a look of intrigue. If you say so. Another servant walks by with a tray of drinks. She takes off, and so do I.
Liz, why are you not dancing? I thought you enjoyed dancing. You talked so fondly of your experiences during your stay in Dries.
As she smiles and takes a sip of her glass. I have already danced to a few songs with a couple lords, but I've been taking a short break. I'd like to see you dance in these. She lifts her dress and gestures to her footwear, which look a bit uncomfortable. Hell, I'd like to see him wearing shoes. I say this as I point at his hooves.
That would be an interesting sight.
He chuckles as his retort. Even Elizabeth lets out a laugh. The jokes and small talk help lighten the mood a bit. Elizabeth sighs and then looks over at me, her lips pressed up to her wine glass as she speaks. Richter, was it? Do you dance? Oh. Well, I'm certainly not, beat deaf, but I wouldn't consider myself the best at dancing. She eyes me while taking a sip of her glass. Her eyes are starting to give off less of a dead look and more of a smug demeanor. I guess we'll have to see. She holds out her hand. Would you like to dance? I stare at her hand for a moment, feeling a bit intimidated. It's not that I don't want to dance, I just don't want to inflict more harm on my dignity. No, it's just a dance. Nothing out of the ordinary. I take her hand in my own and give a light bow. It would be my pleasure. She gives me an excited smile. It's weird, she doesn't seem like the type to smile. The first impression I got from her made me think she would be much more stern.
I think I'll get one last drink.
We leave Rainer as he heads for the table and make our way out on the floor. Okay. The musicians are already playing a song, so we just join the dance. I take her hand and she rests her arm on my shoulder. I gently place my hand on her waist and we begin to sway and step in motion with the song. Her dress gently glides across the floor, and I find myself trying not to step on it. See, you're not too hard. You're too hard on yourself. No, you're too kind. The situation becomes less awkward as we finally settle into the rhythm of the music. You sound a lot like my father. What? Oh, it's nothing. You just share the same accent as him. Oh. She has a Lyrian accent, though. Did you grow up here? For the most part. My father and I moved from Iron when I was just an infant. For what reason? It's nothing really important. Lyre just presented him with a really good opportunity. I hold her hand into the air and guide her around in a circle. After she waltzes the full circle around me, we go back to doing a gentle waltz. I spot Kadaj on the other side of the ballroom, chatting up a few girls. It looks like he's showing them a very energetic dance. Some of them are giggling, and he's clearly got them in the palm of his hand. Paw. In the palm of his paw. That is what that said. Okay. Wait, oh, then that looks loud on the levels. Let me adjust that real quick. Okay. Would it be safe to guess you didn't grow up around humans much? Isn't it obvious? Yes, it would. Growing up in Lyre, I've only had the pleasure of knowing a few humans. I've met plenty of humans in my 25 years of living, but I've only known a few. I I really can't imagine that. In Ire, it's quite the opposite. I know. The climate is much more favorable for us over there. I almost step on her foot, but narrowly avoid it. I look at her for her reaction, but it looks like she's trying to ignore it. Yes, it is. How do you like it here in Lyre, though? Oh, it's very nice. The people here are very pleasant. I've been welcomed with open arms and on multiple occasions. Although I'm starting to think that some of the people here can be a bit fake. I even hear that you have become very good friends with the captain of the Royal Guard. At this point, I do slightly trip over her foot, which causes me to lose my balance for a moment. Yes, I have. He has been an excellent acquaintance these past few weeks. I'd imagine so. Captain Reed and I don't converse much, but he is a very kind wolf. He's done so much for this kingdom, and I think he's the best person to introduce you to this land. I agree. Although I will admit, I believe he is a bit afraid of me. What? Lyle? Lyle? Are afraid of you? Yes, but believe me, it makes sense. You haven't seen much of it, but I can be a pretty different person at times. When it comes to my job, I can be very serious. That clears up a lot. Okay. I steady myself as we resume our dance. I can understand that. It's just the way I am. As the king's advisor, it is my job to make sure things run smoothly. I've also been told I can be a bit intimidating. I can definitely understand that. She smirks and then sighs while letting out a chuckle. I can't help it. I work up the courage to ask her another question to keep the conversation going. So, are you fine with going by Elizabeth? What do you mean? Well, Lyle calls you... Not Lyle. Raynor called you Liz earlier. I was just wondering if you preferred a different name. Oh, I see. Most people call me Elizabeth. People I work with call me Liz or Eliza. Only my father called me Lizzie. Only my father can. Okay. And if you ever call me that, you'll regret it. She says this last part with a levity in her voice, which gets me to laugh. Her dry humor is spot on. The song ends and we bow. That was actually quite pleasant. More fun than I thought it would be. She seems happy too, but I can't tell if she's just faking it as to not insult me. So, what was it like growing up in Iron? As I'm about to answer her, I see someone from across the ballroom floor. It's Lyle. He's standing up against the wall close to Raynor watching us dance. I can't see him too well through the crowd, but I know it's him. Please excuse me. What, you're not gonna finish answer? Come, Richter, you can be polite. Like, finish answering the question and then leave. Come on. I bow, kiss the back of her hand, and walk away. Where are you going? I need to stretch my legs. You're leaving the dance floor to go and stretch your legs? I know, that sounds stupid. I just really want to go and say hi to someone. We can resume dance in a bit. I'm already too far away from her to say anything without shouting, so I just keep walking. Sometimes I despise how awkward I can be around women. She doesn't seem to be hurt by it, though. Lyle spots me walking towards him and meets me halfway. Hello, Richter. Hello. I can't hold it back. My face is probably as flushed as it can get. I've never seen him in anything but the armor and his regular clothes, and naked. He looks so handsome in a suit. It's all snowy white and with blue accents and a silver lining on each important piece. His shoulders are adorned with silver. I know what those are, but I don't. Epaulets? Epaulets? Which shine brightly in the candlelight.
I like your hair.
He wags his tail furiously behind him, but I try not to make it look like I notice. My hair always looks like this.
Ah, yes.
So is this some sort of captain's uniform?
Actually, yes. I only wear it on special occasions, since it's very uncomfortable. No, but I'm glad you like it.
Of course. You look very handsome.
No. What?
I watch his hackles raise and his fur fluff out. I guess he really liked that. His tail is still wagging very fast.
Thank you.
He quickly calms down and takes a sip of the wine glass. It's a slightly bigger one, and it's almost empty. Okay.
So, I see you've met Liz.
Oh, yes. She seems nice. A lot different from how she was the other day.
Well, the other day was a bit hectic. A lot has happened.
Like what? Lyle throws a casual yet alert glance around the room.
I'll tell you later. It's nothing too serious, trust me.
Please don't tell me it was another problem in the canyon.
No, nothing like that. Really, I'd rather not talk about it here.
Okay, I won't say another word on the subject. I really want to ask about it, but I also don't want to seem like a pest. This is a party. So earlier you said that you wouldn't be doing your job while you were here.
Yes.
What does that mean? He quirks his lips and thinks for a second.
I'm basically here to keep guard. Make sure nothing bad happens. I just have to stay alert.
Well then. I grab the empty wine glass from his paw and rotate it, swirling around the minuscule amount of liquid left. Shouldn't you be trying not to get drunk?
It's not that.
He clears his throat.
Trust me, I'll be fine.
No, you won't. You might not, but I remember the last time you were drunk. I hand the wine glass back to him. Humans are very pretty, and I think wolves are even prettier. But I think wolves are even prettier.
Wait. I said that?
I poke him on the nose and step behind him to get a glass off the wine table. He shakes his head a bit in disbelief and walks up behind me with a smirk. He reaches around to grab his own glass. I can feel him lean close to my ear. His hot breath blows onto the back of my neck.
Trust me, drunk or not, I'll always be there to protect you, my lord.
This sends shivers up my spine, and I start to feel hot in my face. Stop teasing me.
I'm not.
Really. I turn around and offer him my hand. Prove it. At first, it doesn't look like he knows what... Whoops. There we go. It doesn't look like he knows what I'm implying. Then, as if on cue, he takes my right hand, as the musicians prepare to play another song. But as we walk onto the dance floor, I notice that he looks a bit nervous. I squeeze his paw a bit, and he looks down at me. Are you afraid of what they'll think? Two males dancing with each other. You said it yourself, nobody minds.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's just... Well, in Lyre, a wolf.
The music starts, and he just stands there wide-eyed. Lyle?
Right. I'll lead.
He grabs me by the waist and takes my hand with his other paw. I guess I knew that he would be leading considering his stature. I don't want him to have to bend over too much though, so I adjust my arms to his height. Oh, he is a lot bigger than you. Okay. The dance starts off a bit slow, with the two of us pacing slowly across the floor. I already feel like I've had a bit too much to drink, even with just one glass. He's not a bad dancer, even considering how different our legs are. Are you comfortable?
I don't know. Everyone's looking at us.
I look around and noticed that there are several people off to the side who are looking our way. Some of them have shocked expressions, and some have blank faces. I see Liz standing off to the side. She has a confused look on her face, but smirks as she raises her glass to us. I guess she's figured it out. Don't worry, Lyle.
But
Lyle. I gently rest my head on his chest as we move our feet to the rhythm of the song. It's just you and me right now. Alright, I'll end the part here. So I will see you around, everyone.